be overrun.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars and welcome to my review for the 2007 sequel to Aliens vs Predator, Aliens vs Predator Requiem. This was released in 2007, directed by Colin Strauss and Greg Strauss, and it stars Rico Aylesworth, Stephen Pasquale, John Ortiz and Johnny Lewis. Right, this is the direct continuation from Alien vs Predator that came out in 2004. It follows directly on from that, and if you remember, at the end of that film we saw the alien emerge from the abdomen of the hero Predator from that film, so we get a new breed of alien at the end of that film. Well, after it pops out of its belly at the beginning of this film, it essentially causes a crash landing. So the Predators in that ship crash land on Earth, and then there is like a cleaner Predator who is dispatched to basically clean up after the mess that has been made. So he heads off to Earth, this like veteran Predator, and the xenomorphs are left to run wild on Earth and start munching and breeding with the locals until the Predator gets there and chaos ensues between the xenomorphs and the Predator, and the poor townsfolk are left in the middle fighting for survival. Right, what are my thoughts on Aliens vs Predator Requiem? Well, as you know, if you do follow the channel, you know that I have been reviewing and covering the whole Alien franchise on the channel, which is why I have covered both Alien vs Predator, which I reviewed a few weeks ago, and this one now, Alien vs Predator Requiem. Now, this film I've only ever seen once before I watched it again for this review, because I remember the first time I watched it, it just didn't impress me at all. And to be fair, the kind of review scores for this are not flattering by any way, shape or form. After a second viewing, do I think this film is kind of worthy of the low scores? While I don't think it's like, you know, some people kind of rate it like 3s and 4s out of 10 and even less. I don't think it's that bad. However, I can't lie, really, I just wasn't impressed with this film on a second viewing. It's just a real mess and so much potential. I mean, we as fans of this franchise, Aliens and Predator, have always wanted certainly to see the aliens run riot on Earth, and this is what we get. Again, it's small town America. It's always small town America, isn't it, where these things happen. They never kind of crash land in the middle of New York City or, you know what I mean, Los Angeles or anything like that. It's always small town America where this happens. And the major problem, well, there's a few problems with this film, but one of the major problems with this film, if you thought character development was a problem in Alien vs Predator for the humans, it's non-existent here in this film. We are presented with a series of characters whom mean nothing. There's two, I think, are brothers, I'm not sure. There's a sheriff that's like the worst sheriff in the world. There's a woman who's come back from the military, who none of them I could tell you their name. And there's a few others as well. There's people that work in diners, and honestly, they are of no interest or consequence to this film. And I said this on the Alien vs Predator review. These films, the Predator and the Aliens films, kind of stand up on the strength of the human characters that are in the film because we care about them. Any one of those films that is good in that franchise, it's propped up by strong characters who we can relate to and get behind. And this is shockingly bad in this film. The human characters are shockingly bad. Because, and also for some reason, this film is shot so dark you can't see anything. I think it was a creative decision to go dark, but honestly, you can't see anything. It's just so bad you cannot make things out. You can't make things out clearly. I understand they want to be I don't know, atmospheric and creepy, and hint at things in the shadows and stuff like this. But it's done so poorly that everything's dark. Whether from like, I don't know, 30 or 40 minutes in, it feels like it's just continually dark. This film, and it's just not fun to watch because you can't make out the battles. Some people complain that you could see too much in Alien versus Predator. I don't think. I thought that was perfect. I want to see these creatures fighting each other. I want to see what the humans are running away from. You know what I mean? Alien was dark. Aliens was dark, but they were done so creatively by really talented people that it actually enhanced the film, not harmed it. And unfortunately, the creative choices to how they filmed this harmed the film. It didn't enhance it, unfortunately. Plot holes with this film. If it was deemed by the Predators that this was such a risk, that this Predator ship has crash landed on Earth. If this is such a risk, why only send one Predator? I like the fact that in this one it's more like a veteran Predator who really knows what he's doing, compared to the teenagers that we got in Alien versus Predator. They were basically rookies learning their trade. This is like a veteran Predator, because some people kind of complain about this film, saying that he takes out the xenomorphs too easily. Well, of course he does. It's his job. He is such a badass, if you like, that he can kind of deal with them. But still, one Predator. If it's such a problem and it's such an issue, why would they only send one Predator? It just doesn't make sense to me. Maybe the budget wouldn't let them have any more Predators. I don't know. And some of the stuff, I mean, again, Alien vs Predator was criticised quite a lot for its tame approach. I mean, it went for, I think it's rated 15, I think, in the UK, but PG-13 in other places. It was very tame in comparison to other films in the franchises. This one went for the R rating, if you like, but it's gratuitous. I mean, the violence in it, the gratuitous violence in it, is just there for shock tactics. I think some of the stuff, people's heads getting blasted off, and a totally unnecessary scene at like a hospital with pregnant women, that was just, I think, just there to try and shock, really. You know what I mean? And it just didn't work. I thought they were just trying to be, I don't know, edgy, just because they could, and it felt like, again, it betrayed the nature of the Predators and the Aliens, you know what I mean? To a large degree. So, yeah, I could go on and on really about the problems with this film. The fact that the National Guard turn up heavily armed in trucks and stuff, and they get taken out in seconds by a bunch of aliens. But these teenagers in this town, the townsfolk, most of them teenagers, pick up a few guns, you know what I mean, and they're sorting it out. You know what I mean? It's just, I'm all for stretching the belief factor in films. You know what I mean? I could click my brain off and enjoy, but sometimes it's just stupid for stupid's sake. So while it sounds like I am essentially massively criticising this film, and I suppose I am, it's easily the worst in the franchise, Alien and Predator. There is some silly fun to be had. You know what I mean? I just wish they'd have lit it better so that you could see it more. But there is some silly fun to be had if, like I say, you're happy to click your brain off and, not get too bogged down with the stupidity of the film here and there. It is a shame that because I do think this could have been so much better. The whole concept of a Predator stroke alien hybrid, very exciting really, but this film just doesn't deliver on that at all, in my opinion. So yeah, I didn't massively enjoy this one by any stretch of the imagination. I think certainly my first impressions when I saw it all them years ago were founded. I just couldn't really massively recommend this one. It's not dreadfully bad or anything like that. It's just disappointing, and sometimes that's worse, isn't it, really? So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this review. I'll be back with more content on the channel very, very soon.